Hello everyone and welcome to Forza Horizon 4. Today we'll just be playing around with the AE86. I did a few minor upgrades. I think it was just rim changes and maybe the gearbox. And we're on Fortune Island in the downhill. We're also going to test it in the uphill, and then we're going to throw a little quick drift tune on it and see how good it is. So in the downhill section we come almost where it starts, as the RX-7 just gives up on life after a little tap for some reason, not sure why. We get a little sideways. The car has about 120, 150 horsepower I think, as we avoid it from sending it into the back of the CRX. We're very close, almost making contact. We're going to take it up on the outside. Braked a little bit early, try to get the swing back up the inside, and fortunately there was gravel there, so I couldn't get the move done. Now we try again, but again that gravel, but we somehow managed to get one off on the CRX. He has room for the inside on the next corner. He doesn't get the move done, so I move on. So we brake a little bit early, and we're going to sit right behind the MX-5 as we're all too wide. And you may or not noticed that there's a big truck in front of us, and I wonder how that will go. The MX-5 is just lined up right behind him. We're on the outside of this very sharp corner. We have to make a little bit of contact to get out of it safely. But overall we're good. Now we're not side by side, which is kind of helpful. But now we have an MX-5 and a truck in the way, while whatever car is in first is slowly pulling away from us. So I'm going to send on the outside of the MX-5 and then go for the cutback. We get the move done. Now it's going to be hard getting around this big truck, so I decided to try to fit it up the inside, and we somehow get the move done without any contact, surely. And now we just have to chase down, I think that is a 240 SX or 180. I'm not sure which one, I can't tell without the game telling me. But we now have a little bit of ground to make up. Now, fun fact, the race doesn't just end at the end of those hairpins and stuff. It actually goes down to the festival itself, and that gives us enough room to drift around a few corners as we're trying to gain up some time to the 240 SX. And that's what I'm just going to call it now. Now these are going to be the hardest corners, since it's going to need a lot of top speed, and the stock suspension is just so ready to send you sideways in this car. So you actually gain a little bit of time and make contact with the barrier there, but we're on the right at the back of the 240 SX. But unfortunately it is not enough to get the move done, I think. Let's see. We're drifting around the final corner. It wasn't enough, but it was a good try. We finished second place. GG. Now we are taking the same exact AE86 with the same exact tune, but we're going to be trying to do the uphill section, so we'll see how that goes. And you may notice that all these cars are around C-Class, I think. I believe the car, after the upgrades I did to it, sets in around the middle of C-Class, which is not too bad. I also heard that Ollie plans on playing Forza Horizon 4, so I may have to sell him this car, get him into the AE86 gang. I don't know. As we coming down to the stretch that we really do struggle on, but unfortunately I don't understand why, but everyone just seems to be taking their sweet time. Give the 240 SX a little push, and the red AE86 just decides to drop off for some reason, not sure why. Now we come down to the first hairpin. I get blocked off completely. Now that is GG to the AI. That was actually one of the very few smart moves I've ever seen them done in Forza games. Way better than in Motorsport. That was honestly the cleanest move I've seen in this entire game. I don't know if I should be happy or sad. As we make a little bit of contact, I back off. then try to get the swing up the inside, but just don't have the power to get it done. So we're probably going to have to make up most of the time just holding it flat through corners like that, and just trying to cut the corners as much as we can. But overall, we're evenly powered. We're side by side with the 240SX. As we make a little bit of contact, I run wide, he gets back on the inside. And now we're slowly losing time to the leaders. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send it up the outside and then come back for the cut. On the inside, just hold it out. We get the move done. Now just got to move a little bit forward more to complete it. We're currently in 4th place. We run almost into the barrier, trying to make up the track limits as much as possible. Get on the brakes early, try to use as much traction as we can. And unfortunately, we just don't have the momentum yet like we did on the downhill section to just send it around people. So we're going to have to use these kind of flat section of the hill climb here to just push as much as we can. There's one more hairpin after this, then it should be evened out completely with minor hills and stuff. We get it move up on the inside. We're now in 3rd place. Our next target is the blue MX-5. Can we get the move done? About 80% progress of the race. Trying to keep it clean. Now we're on the outside, now the inside. We make contact with the barrier, which is unfortunate. Get on the brakes perfectly. We drift on the inside of the MX-5. Perfect move through there. We're drifting around the corner exits. This is good and bad. Again, the stock suspension isn't the most stable, so you will see me pop a drift. But again, we lose to the 240SX, so I guess what this means is no matter what happens, the 240SX will always be better. Now we come down here. I've put on a drift tune. This is the stock engine, just with upgrades to the turbo, which is around 400 brake horsepower. And our goal here is to get around 200,000 points on the drift zone, which I think is completely possible with this car. As we butchered that corner, we could have went super wide and easily got up to 50,000 points, and we're just destroying the barrier. I am nowhere nearby the best drifter in this game, so you should probably see people like John DeWan Song play it, well, with the AE86, because of course they're way better, or AR12. They're obviously way better than me, as I just eat up the guardrail. I swear I'm not this bad when no one else is looking at my gameplay, but apparently it's just hot guru. As we actually get one decent corner down for once, yay. Now here's very weird section for me, because it feels like that gravel loosens up your front, but then your rear, it feels grippy, so you just stay in second and bang it out. Now of course with 400 horsepower, this thing can easily get around most turns, and when you want it to grip up, it does grip up easily. So that is one advantage of keeping the stock engine. Also, it just sounds amazing. Now you do also have the option for putting the 1600 horsepower 2JZ into it, which I would recommend if you cared about the memes that much, and put an all-wheel drive on it. As we just completely eat the barrier again. Guys, you gotta believe me, I am not this bad when no one else is watching me. Like, I can make this whole section without making contact with anything. As we already have over 200,000 points, now we're just gonna beat the goal. By how much? About 50, maybe 60,000, I think, as we run super tight to that inside line. Anyways, we beat it by almost 69. Yeet, boys.
Shawty said she liked the way I default dance. Saw my scar and said she wanted it in my pants. Bought a ton of V-Bucks with my advance. Shawty said she liked the way I default dance. Wait, Shawty said she liked the way I default dance. Saw my scar and said she wanted it in my pants.